I am cheating on my husband and I cannot stop. I'm so screwed up. I hate doing this. I'm at a loss for words. A little history and backstory. My age is 29F and my boyfriend is 32. M. We've been dating for 10 years. We married 3 years ago. We have a fairly good connection overall. I can confidently state that he is my best friend in every way. He respects and trusts me, and he adores me. I adore him more than anything else on the planet, or so I believe. Basically, turmoil in our paradise began when I discovered him doing something I didn't approve of, viewing porn. This was a year before our wedding, and we had discussed it on many times before to this. I told him from the start that I don't watch porn and that it would make me uncomfortable if he did as well. He said that he did not. He told a falsehood. In fact, he subsequently acknowledged to me that he had a porn addiction. He couldn't keep himself in check. He kept it hidden for 6 years. I felt like a moron for putting so much faith in him. This may seem little to others, but it was the end of the world to me. I pondered leaving him, but we came to an agreement. Our intimacy life was forever ruined as a result of this. Anyway, he proposed, and I accepted. But something had altered inside of me. Intimacy with him was unpleasant. He never touched me or made me climax. It was never enjoyable. He seemed to be doing it just for himself. I didn't see this previously since I assumed he was excellent at everything and that I was never good enough for him. But when I saw him viewing porn, my perception of him shifted dramatically. He didn't seem to be flawless anymore. I still decided to give us a second chance. It was months before our wedding, and a new employee had joined my company. I was immediately smitten. I had never felt this way in the 7 years I had been married to my spouse. I was desperate for him. I'm a really attractive lady, so it wasn't difficult for me to get his attention. We spoke and hit it off. We began to hang out. We kissed because one thing led to another. I then felt guilty, so I halted it before it developed into anything else. I met the next man in the bar. I had intimacy with him, but was overtaken with guilt and nothing transpired between us. This went on for a while, with 8 males coming and going. I never had intimacy with any of them because I was afraid of betraying my spouse. Now I'm extremely into this guy I've been messaging, whom I met via a common acquaintance. My hubby is away on business. I'm at home by myself. He has invited me to his home. He is unaware that I am married. My spouse has no clue that I've been doing this behind his back for 3 years. I'm not sure how to keep myself in check. Please assist. I don't want to terminate my relationship with my hubby. I really want us to exercise, but how can I keep myself from cheating? I can't tell my hubby because I know he'll leave me. But I'd want for everything to work out. This is something I can no longer do. 1 week flings, then returning to my spouse with regret and sorrow. Every man I've seen has taken a piece of me away. Please assist me. What am I supposed to do? Thank you for all of your comments and suggestions. I'm already aware of some who believe I'm screwed up. I'm going to make an effort to fix it right now. I didn't have any close pals who could advise me to quit doing what I was doing. Who knew that strangers on the internet would be the catalyst for me to take command of the situation? I've been a lousy wife and companion to my spouse. He's been nothing but helpful to me. I'm going to call him right now. If he chooses to leave me, which he should since I'm a nasty person who does not deserve his love, then be it. I am willing to suffer any adversity that may help me become a less awful person. Once I speak with my hubby, I will publish an edit. Edit 2. Last night has to be one of the most difficult evenings of my life. All of my demons had caught up with me. On the phone, I spoke with my spouse. He didn't hang up, which surprised me. He listened to everything I said as I poured my heart out to him and told him everything. From how his porn addiction impacted me to my several times cheating on him. He began weeping as he listened. Hearing him scream like that made me want to commit suicide. I'd never heard somebody weep so hard in my life. Me too, he said. Someone seemed to have shot me in the heart. He responded, me too, implying that he had also been disloyal to me. I'm not sure how much he's been unfaithful to me at this point. All I have to do now is wait for him to get home, and we can go through the specifics. One thing I'm certain of is that we can't remain together. If he had been doing the same to me, we would not be even. It just makes things worse. Story 2. Is cheating on a cheater okay? My spouse confessed to me about an affair 2 years ago. We had barely been married for a year. He had really begged for a divorce, since our relationship was so awful at the time. We argued all the time, and I put him down and shouted at him all the time. It was unquestionably a poisonous connection. He requested a divorce, and I begged with him to give it another go and I'd change. And I did, in fact, alter dramatically. He even admits that he was taken aback by how fast I changed my demeanor, but it seemed like it was too late. My husband had had enough of me and was having intimacy with another lady at work. It lasted about a week, and when he came clean, I read all of their communications. We traveled to Hawaii together before he told me since it was a vacation we had planned a while ago. It was almost as though we were on our honeymoon. I had no idea he cheated at this point. We didn't argue once throughout the vacation, which was a great accomplishment for us, and we fell back in love with one another. We had the finest vacation ever, and when we returned, he broke up with the lady. I had no idea until a few months later when he came clean. He said that he had been feeling quite bad about it. He displayed all of their texts to me. He even invited the woman to FaceTime, who was also cheating on her partner. She had no clue I was there, but I came on and said hi and asked her a number of questions. She apologized, and I told him I forgave her since it was really my husband's fault for being such a jerk, and he agreed. He then admonished her, in front of me, over FaceTime not to contact him again and that what they did was terrible. My spouse said it was his fault and that he had been suffering from despair and tremendous anxieties. He asked if I wanted to go to therapy with him, and I agreed. We went to couples counseling, and it was quite beneficial. Don't get me wrong, it was challenging, but we learned so much about ourselves and each other and grew extremely sympathetic toward one another. After almost a year of couples counseling, we were quite strong. I'm not going to lie, I'd even put my husband to the test by claiming to be a colleague with a new phone and texting him that she wanted to have intimacy with him and miss him. He gave me the text right away, apologized, and asked what I wanted to do. Of course, I admitted that it was my fault, and honestly, I felt horrible since he ended up having a panic attack, which was my fault. Yes, my husband made a mistake, but he has shown to me that he is a decent guy and has developed as a result of it. I'm really quite proud of him since he tried suicide after I found out because he was so wounded, but now he's doing so much better and putting in so much effort during treatment. Now, a year later, I'm beginning to stray for no apparent cause. My spouse has been taking care of me non-stop since I was diagnosed with a chronic pain problem. He attends all of my doctor's visits, makes all of my appointments, advocates for me, and has held my hand the whole time I've been in agony. He is now also assisting in the care of my parents. I met someone lately on Ashley Madison. I believe it is related to my melancholy since my chronic pain is excruciating and I feel so lonely throughout the day. My spouse is required to work since I'm on unpaid leave. He's been cooking meals and doing all of the housekeeping. Yet, I think they make me feel lonely at times for no reason. I've been texting and sexting with a man I met on AM. I think it's very innocuous and lets me feel like a regular person without the condition, but I feel terrible when I watch my spouse working so hard. Is this harmful or innocuous? The man continues requesting to meet, and I have a lot of fun conversing with him. I don't intend to have real intimacy with him, but I love chatting to him and have emotional sentiments for him. I'm troubled because I feel like ever since my spouse strayed, I've had this thought that if I ever want to completely love him again, I have to cheat as well. Has anybody have a similar experience? Any suggestions? Now look at some opinions. Your spouse cheated on you, and you went to counseling for a year to get your lives back on track. Now, you were doing great, except you're in chronic pain and you're going to flush your marriage. Because you know your husband will find out, and do you think he'll find out you were on a dating site while he's been busting his balls for you and your family? Why not talk to him? Start sexting him during the day, send him nude pictures, not other men. You've been a jerk to your spouse the whole time you've been together, and now you're cheating on top of it. Do you honestly believe it's okay for a married lady to email photographs or videos of her tits, pussy, and a doggy butt/pussy? Did you discontinue visiting your therapist? I believe you should see a psychiatrist and be put on medication, which may assist you. Make sure you find some guilt to tell your spouse and then finally get the divorce he should have gotten when you were horrible to him at first. You've never changed for the better. You choose to keep it to yourself. You met him on a dating service for cheaters. What you're doing is neither innocent nor proper. Have you ever really forgiven your husband? Because your behaviors indicate that you do not agree. If your spouse is doing as much as you claim, and you remember the agony you had when you found out, are you aiming to destroy him in the same way he destroyed you? Because that is exactly what will happen. If you are lonely, locate a better organization or outlet to chat to other people throughout the day, or contact your spouse to see if he is available to talk. You're on a bad road right now, and I advise you to reverse course fast or risk destroying the marriage you both fought so hard to mend. It's not something I'd do. I was in a 10-year dead room. I became frustrated and started to cheat. I was having the time of my life, I thought. Then I was apprehended. I was divorced, but seeing how profoundly I had wounded someone I loved made me feel like a jerk. I still felt like a nasty person after we split. It took almost 2 years of hard effort to feel good about myself again. Cheating is something you do to them, not something they do to you. It's something you inflict on yourself. That is something I will never do to myself again.